show where we break down the latest in politics and current affairs. I'm Shakia, bringing the Democratic point of view.
And I'm Willie Montague, bringing you the Republican point of view.
So in this episode, we will discuss destructive DEI in the Point Counterpoint segment. You don't want to miss it. All right. Let's get started with our talking points.
Well, this should be exciting, Shakia.
It should.
Welcome back. So I want to talk about the pennies. Pennies make dollars. You all know the old saying, pennies make dollars. And so I did a little research today and found out that President Trump wants to save the American people some money. So he's starting off by saying that he's not going to mint any more pennies. So it takes about 2 cents per penny to process. So I did a little math to find out how much President Trump is trying to help us out. And that is equating to $64 million. So can't nobody get mad at saving a couple of coins. Literally a couple of coins that President Trump is trying to go. So I think so many people have gotten upset. So many people have been with the freezes and the pending things that are going on to be able to give us savings. They're mad at Elon Musk, but overall it's to save the American people dollars. And I think that, honestly, we really don't use too many pennies.
There's so much to unpack. It's been quite some time since we've sat at this table, Willie, so it's good to see you again.
Likewise.
So it's been 3 weeks since President Trump has taken office and been inaugurated. Since day one, he has been on a complete rampage of undoing the American government that you and I learned in grade school. Since then, he has signed over 92 executive orders, to be exact, making a history record signing for executive orders in the state of our country. He has also wanted to say he wanted to seize Gaza. He wanted to turn the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. Eggs still $12. So if he's talking about saving a penny, or he doesn't want to make any more pennies, but yet eggs are still $12. I don't know what type of math you're doing, but it doesn't make sense to me. Another thing, he has provoked a trade war with Mexico, with Canada, called it off, right, and held the one with China. So he's pissing off a lot of allies that we've had over, a few decades just for the sake of making America great again. It hasn't been great. I'm not sure where we're going with this, but it'll be an interesting discussion with you, my friend.
Yeah, it's going to be. It's going to be. So let's dive into this.
Let's go.
Okay, so you mentioned about the things with the trade war. You mentioned the things about the eggs and the cost of eggs. The cost of eggs was high even when we had Sleepy Joe Biden in office.
However, your party and those who voted for Trump in office, that was the main talking point. Eggs is too high. Grocery is too high. He ain't said nothing about eggs.
Well, it's a process, Shakia.
Oh, yes.
He's been in office. They call it the first 100 days for a reason. So he's been in office. 3 weeks, as you mentioned. Well, you say 92 executive orders. People are upset at the executive orders because executive orders bring direction. When you had such a chaotic administration like the ones we just had, it takes time. If he signed 192 executive orders, anything is better than what we're dealing with.
But what's so funny about that, Will, is the fact that you say that we've come from a chaotic administration with Sleepy Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. However, Trump has pissed off the very people that voted him into office. The Venezuelans. I vote for Donald Trump. But yeah, they're all pissed off because why? He is now sending their loved ones back to their home country, not the ones who are here illegally. Yes, you and I have talked about that before, right? There is a crisis at our border. However, he is stripping the very people who voted him into office. He's pissing them off, taking away Medicaid, Medicare for people who actually need it.
Wait.
The whole education system. This is not fake news, Willie.
No.
This is not fake news.
What Medicaid and Medicare did he take? Now, I'm going to have to pause you there. What Medicaid and
we can talk about it, Willie.
Did he take away?
You didn't hear about that the other day, how they're tampering with Medicare for the elderly? elderly?
No, this is where misinformation.
Oh, now you want to use my term. Now-
This is where misinformation comes from. There is no tampering with it. The same individual I hear, because I even have people come up and be like, "Oh Lord, I better do something now. I ain't gonna have my Medicaid, my Medicare." But it's not true. All that President Trump is doing is making sure that we have a balanced budget, which it has not been balanced, even if you go far back before.
So speaking of budget, why does Elon Musk have access to the Treasury? Why has he set up camp in that office as a private citizen? Where do we do that at? Only in America, obviously.
Yeah, you do.
Only in America.
You do realize that he had access to all the American people's information when he was part of PayPal.
But you know,
it's the same information.
You may be right.
He never used it in any type of way.
You may be right. However, he also had access to all the voting ballots, which is how Trump is actually in office right now. If you want to talk about
that. Oh my God, that is the biggest.
Do you want to talk about access?
If anyone talk now, y'all want to flip the.
Do you want to talk about access?
Stolen election.
He has.
He did steal
the election.
This election was won fair and square.
Sure, Willie.
And what we saw back in 2020, now that was a stolen election
Willie.
all across the country.
But have you noticed that because Trump has won office, all of his MAGA people, they haven't stormed the Capitol. They're not questioning the election system anymore. Where is that? Where is that, Willie?
Well, now we're trying to stop the Democrats from storming.
The hypocrisy.
Did you not see what the Democrats were storming in the former Board of Education? Because it doesn't.
They were not storming. They actually had an appointed meeting.
No,
they had an appointed meeting at that time.
Auntie Maxine.
And some, don't you dare speak ill of Auntie Maxine. I'll come across this table. Don't do that to Auntie Maxine.
Cricket wig.
Don't do that to Auntie Maxine.
She got her there.
There will be no slander.
She got her there and all. You got to let me in. We pay you.
And which is true. They do pay them. However, you know, we're going to dive into this. We do pay them. The American people do put them into office. We have put them into office and we pay their salaries for good reason. We'll get into this in a second. We have to take a commercial break. Boy, it's getting spicy in here. Coming up after this commercial break, we will discuss the dangers of DEI, which is diversity, equity, and inclusion. This is Americana. Welcome back to Americana. Let's get into point counterpoint.
Well, this is going to be a hot topic indeed. It is DEI, and I'll let you break that down because you know I think it is a disaster of an acronym. But let's first start with here. I think that as blacks, Afros, Negroes, whatever you want to call us these days and times, that we have taken this DEI to this far extreme We do not need DEI to be able to survive. We don't need DEI to be able to thrive. I think that this whole, and I know where you're going to go, I'm going to let you do it later.
Okay.
But I believe that DEI has come in and it has manipulated the minds, especially of Black and brown people, to be able to assume that we need some type of government intervention to be able to succeed in life. And it's not true. We do not need government intervention to be able to own houses, build businesses, to own land, and to be able to succeed in any way, shape, or form. This is a whole thing, and I'm so glad that Elon Musk, President Trump, and others are going after such a basically a worn out issue that we as American people that happen to be Black. Let's not say we're Black that are American. We're American people that happen to be Black.
Are you finished?
I'm going to let you
For
go.
right now.
I'll let you go.
Praise God. So DEI doesn't just impact Black and brown folks. It impacts a number of ethnic groups who have been impacted with roadblocks to either getting a job, getting housing, getting the help that they need. And DEI stands for diversity, equity, and inclusion. Unlike Elon Musk, or should I call him First Lady Elon, Sister Musk. And I say that because he has taken such a position as a private citizen in the American government right now, and at the tragedy of 61 Americans, right, who were on the plane and the Black Hawk last week or a couple of weeks ago. Time is just really going fast. He had the guts to say that it was DIE. We are talking about 61 people who did not survive a crash, a plane crash, and they are now pointing it towards DIE because of the plane crash. Do you not think that that's senseless or careless
But Shakir,
or insensitive?
Let's start with Elon first. Elon was appointed to an agency, a government agency, by President Trump. So he's not just some, regular degular. He's
Sure.
not. He is an agency head.
Yeah,
And
with no clearance, but keep going.
Nonetheless, he is the head of an agency, DOGE, that is here, Department of Government Efficiency,
Sure.
that is here to safeguard the American people's dollars. Now let's go about other Black, brown, handicaps, and those that fit under the umbrella of diversity.
Sure.
Okay. There are plenty of government agencies that are in place that can help these same individuals. So having a whole DEI leader, like you got some of these places that create DEI executives and DEI presidents for what?
So really, honestly, DEI has allowed you and I to step in places that you and I would have never stepped in before, sitting at tables that we were never invited to, sitting in chairs that they were never afforded us.
Do you really think that's DEI?
Hold on. Lyndon B. Johnson, right? Former President Lyndon B. Johnson.
Let's not start about Lyndon B. Johnson.
We can do 1964.
Let's not talk about.
We can talk about Lyndon.
Lyndon B. Johnson is
but
the same one.
Let me finish my thought with
Go ahead, because I'm coming back.
He signed into law various things that would prohibit the very thing that Trump and his cronies are now undoing in American government. In the world that you have always preached and doted about Black Wall Street, that would be perfect for Black Wall Street. Why? Because we would, before segregation, we were doing fine by ourselves. We had our own schools, we had our own hospitals, we had our own banks. White people burned down the town.
Democrats burned down.
White
Democrats burned down the town.
it down,
it
right?
Was white Democrat. We want to be clear about who it is.
Post that. We now live in a world where we have to have laws in place because you and I would not be able to have that type of equity.
I think would be great. Some people say that segregation to the state, we were better off as Black people.
I would probably agree with that.
Okay, but I'll say this. It was Lyndon B. Johnson that said he would have niggas voting Democrats for the next 200 years. It was all a system to be able to keep us in checks and balances. So we don't have no freedom in the United States under the regime of Democrats. They want us to
we damn sure ain't got it under the Republican Party either, if you want to be fair.
And that's a damn lie. We want
really? How is that a lie?
That's
really?
What that is.
If you go up to the White House right now, Willie, you would not be allowed in. Why?
That's a lie.
They would judge you. You are the blackest thing that they would have in the White House today.
Black History Month celebration on the 12th.
You mean the Super Bowl last night?
No,
that was was the epitome of DEI.
The 12th.
The epitome of DEI was last night during halftime when Kendrick Lamar, the prophet of our time, told Trump while Trump was up in the suite, "You not like us."
You think that's what he told Trump?
He was talking to Drake. he was talking to Sony.
We're going to take a pivot off our
down.
We can break that down later.
We can break that down.
He was talking to a lot of people, but it wasn't President Trump.
Oh, okay.
The laughing stock of it was Taylor Swift. But nonetheless, I'm just going to say this. There are black Democrats and individuals that have succumbed to the white Democrats, making them poor, making them feel like they are in there. And that's why you have so many black people that are slaves to an agenda, like VP Harris, like Madam Maxine Waters. These are individuals that want to cripple
you
black
as a black man and as a Republican appall me, not because of your party affiliation, but because you have bought into this idea that because your party is now in the White House, that you reign supreme. Your ish stank just like mine, whether you Republican, blue, independent, green party.
What does that have to do?
Trump does not like you and I. Because why? Because we don't have the type of coin that he wants to have saved in this country. We are not billionaires, okay? I just want to let you
now,
that needs to be clear.
That is the number one complaint that all these black people want to make. This is for the wealthy. Then why don't you find out how to get a book?
But here's the thing.
Rethink and Grow Rich and learn how to go out there and to come up off of your behind.
White women have benefited more from DEI than any other ethnic group in the United States, okay? 19% of white women are in C-suite executive level positions because of DEI, compared to 4%. So you tell me that that's equitable?
Let me tell you.
Is that equitable?
You know what's equitable?
All right,
when black people stop complaining and get off their tails and be able to do what they can do for themselves.
Willie wants y'all to have this.
We don't need
Willie wants you to pull up yourself by your bootstraps. If you don't have a boot, you don't have a place at the table.
I'll buy you a boot.
We have to take a short commercial break. Coming up right after this, we will have Fact or Spin. This is Americana.
It is.
Hey y'all, welcome back to Americana. Let's get into Fact or Spin.
Well. So it seems like we're coming to the conclusion of the matter. I want to call this political personality disorder.
What? Political what?
Personality disorder. And the reason y'all can coin that, put it on your Hallmark card for Christmas, because it's going to be something big. You come around, okay? I'm telling you, President Trump about to use it. It's going to be bigly. But nonetheless, political personality disorder. This is actually talking about illegal immigration and talk about the birthright. The reason I'm calling it that is because I think people have this political ideology, especially those who seem to lean a little more on the left, that thinking that our country should be overran by illegals. And I think if we really look at this, we are indeed a country that needs to secure our borders. I just saw a man saying, "Thank you, President Trump." Black man, country black man, not just the Republicans y'all want to call like y'all want to make us out to be like we some house Negro. But this was a black man from the country said, "Thank you, President Trump. I finally can go out there and get the type of job I wanted because you've deported all of these illegals, and now I can go as a person go out there. So you have people they're recognizing that these were the individuals that was
What type of jobs was this young black man referring to?
So let's think about how many jobs do you think that are entry-level positions or positions where you don't need a degree, or positions for those who are felons that are not able to go.
Held by illegal citizens?
If you can pay somebody the same amount of money to pay somebody that's in America or a little less, what you gonna do?
Held by illegal citizens, and this man is saying that now he's able to get a job because some illegal folks are no
Was
longer.
deported. Correct. We need to secure our
Oh God,
borders.
how much did they pay him? Because
They didn't pay him.
that's
Shakia.
fake news. Fake news. I just wanted to say that.
I like to point it just for about 2 minutes. But let's be honest with this. We do have a problem here in the United States.
Yeah, you and I have always agreed on that.
Right. And I just think that this is why I call it a personality disorder, a political personality disorder, because I feel like individuals, something clicks in their head, and the moment that, because remember, there was millions of illegals that was deported under Obama.
Okay, so
no one said nothing about that.
No. So if we're bringing facts to this table, because this is fact or spin, right?
That's it, fact or
okay.
spin.
Factually, the border has been an issue for every president of the United States.
The only one that fixes.
Oh, wait now. It's been an issue with every administration, okay? This time around, Trump actually, and we talked about this before, he made sure that the immigration law did not pass so that he could get the kudos and the accolades. He wants the attaboys. He's really good at that, right? He stages something to sabotage it to seem like the victor. We've seen that time and time again. That's his playbook. So in the instance of immigration, he is now harping on that to build his base. He wants to elicit fear in this country. Immigrants have paid taxes in this country. So I am really just baffled at the amount of misinformation and fear-mongering that the Republican Party is still doing, even though he's won the presidency.
So let's talk about this. Who was the ones that kept these children in the cages? Who built the cages?
and now
Obama.
Absolutely.
Right.
I'm not disputing that.
So now you have President Donald J. Trump, who has stepped to the forefront as a true American patriot.
Let's
to
be
make
clear.
Sure
his
that,
parents were also immigrants. Let's be clear about that. So we can go down to ancestry. We can do this.
Listen, he's not going after people who said this is what we failed.
To this point,
we have a legal issue.
Willie.
There are a million of them are in our country.
He wanted
They're taking up our job. They're snatching up our children. They're killing people.
You're so nasty for that. You're so nasty for that, Willie.
They are.
To be clear.
They're part of the issue with human trafficking.
So let me tell you, it's not even just that. Trump said that he would have Mexico build that wall. That damn wall is still not finished. Now, he spoke to the president of Mexico last week or the week before.
And what did she say?
And she said that she will hold off for a month.
No.
So we're going to revisit
hold
this.
off for a month.
We're going to revisit this.
We were going to hold off from putting tariffs.
Oh, Lord Jesus. So let me talk about this, y'all, how America is still not great at the moment, because that was what the Republican Party had their whole campaign on. Make America great again. Make it great again. But great for who? Not for people who look like me. Definitely not for people who look like Willie, although Willie has bought into this idea that he is an exception to the rule. And I am just really curious as to why you think that you are the exception to the rule when, one, you are not a billionaire. Now, I wish finances and wealth upon you, my good brother, in the name of Jesus, okay? But at this current moment, our tax bracket does not look like what Elon and Trump is trying to uphold in the United States. And aside from that, right, aside from the immigration piece, let's talk about how there is a genitalia war on our country. There is less than 1% of transgender folks in this country, yet Trump seems to have this fetish with genitalia. Would you agree?
No.
There is a fetish with this man and genitalia.
Shakia, I think that what he's doing is protecting our children. You should not, as I've said this plenty of times before, if you want to go out in private and chop off your penises and sew up your lips, then that's you.
Yeah.
But you should not put that type of discuss in front of our children.
Here's
What
the
about
thing.
drag queen reading hour? Why are we having these men,
But
that's
this is-
women, competing in these sports?
But
are
why
we having
not?
this-
And to a degree with that, Willie, I would agree, right? I have loved ones who have transitioned. I have loved ones who are a part of the LGBTQIA community. I have
Lord
loved
Jesus,
ones.
better be BC.
Listen, I have loved ones who fall under this umbrella. And so because they live and love the people that they love, why should their rights be revoked? Now, I do agree. Now, hear me out with this. Now, I agree that transgenders should have their own bathroom. They should have their own sports team. But why in the hell would this be a part of the 90-day, 100-day plan
You're
that
right.
Trump has?
You know what? It wouldn't.
And he around here grabbing people by the
Jesus
parts.
fix it. You wouldn't have to be concerned about that if it was not made a federal issue by the former and the past former administration.
Listen, I
Because
don't
this
put
should not be
nothing
a federal-
past
this
Trump
shouldn't
right
be
now. He is
federal
also
issue.
a felon in the White House. We've never had that before. I hope to God that they impeach this man.
What did Cat Williams say?
I hope to God
What did
that
Cat
they
Williams say?
impeach this man.
35 felons. Not
Listen,
convicted.
listen.
He said, jail and prison
and how
is
these
not the same.
some of these judges don't give a darn about Trump. Now they blocking stuff left and right. So we're gonna
But
see
that's
how
not
he
gonna
think that
last.
he's
That's
gonna
not
make
gonna last.
America great again.
J.D. Vance made it
We
very
gonna see.
clear. It's not going to last.
Woo, child. Well, thank y'all so much for tuning in to Americana. I am Shakia, and this here is
Willie Montague.
and we will see
rock and
y'all.
roll.
And we rocking and rolling. We will see you all here tomorrow at 6:30.